Gearbox Software's Battleborn, although a ton of fun, finds itself in a rather tough situation. With Overwatch taking away much of the attention, it's a shame that Battleborn may not receive the recognition it deserves if the beta has anything to go by. One look at Battleborn and it's impossible to not notice Borderlands' influence on character design and art style. The game doesn't seem to be pushing the visual envelope, so it should not be taxing any platform, right? Before we jump into analyzing all three versions, there are a couple of things that need to be mentioned. First of all, this is a beta, so what we mention here may not apply to the retail version. Things can always change in the final version, but analyzing pre-release builds helps all of us understand how things are moving forward development-wise. Secondly, this is going to be a brief look at all three platforms, but you can expect a fully fledged analysis when the game launches next month. The Xbox One version runs at a native 1080p resolution with minimal drops. The PS4 version also runs at a native 1920 by 1080p resolution. On the performance front, we're primarily looking at a locked 30 FPS experience on both consoles, which is a surprise if we're to be honest. We were expecting 60 FPS given the fast action gameplay. Whether this impacts gameplay in any way is something we will take a look in the final version, but the lack of a 60 FPS in the beta is a tad disappointing. Regardless, the game manages to deliver a smooth 30 frames per second with only a few frame rate drops. Switching over to the PC build, the developer recommends an Intel i5 750 or AMD Phenom 2X4 945 and AMD HD 7850 or NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 along with 6GB of memory. As expected, not many PCs will have issues running this game at maxed out 1080p settings at 60 FPS. We tested the game on an NVIDIA 970 GTX and Intel Core i7 3770, but we did observe torn frames at times resulting in screen tearing. Hopefully, this is something that the developer will fix by launch. We also want to specifically mention about anti-aliasing. There seems to be something wrong with the way AA is implemented on all platforms. On the PS4 and Xbox One versions, one can clearly see jaggies on object edges, but the real surprise is that it's also present on the PC build. Regardless, it seems that Battleborn is shaping up quite well, but the lack of 60 FPS on consoles is something we're going to be talking about when the game launches next month.
If you like what we're doing, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. See you soon!